Okay. So what I am telling is, altogether you are going to study DC machines and AC machines. In DC machines you are going to study DC generators and DC motors, and in AC machines transformers, induction motors and synchronous machines. In this again you will be having generators, synchronous generators and motors, synchronous motors. Okay, so these are the main elements of electrical machines. Okay, so in this subject electrical machines 1, you are going to deal with DC machines, that is DC generators, DC motors and transformers. So these machines you are going to study in EM1, and next these machines you will be studying in EM2. Okay, I just once again wanted to know whether my screen is visible or not. Can you text please? Is it visible? Okay, fine. Now bit more I want to just go take few more minutes regarding the power systems. See, we have a big network. This is network. Okay, now this network is interconnected through transmission lines. Okay, right? So this is a electrical network, power system, electrical network or power system. Okay, and this network we have one side generators. These are generators, so on like this, and we also have loads connected to this network. Loads. Okay, so these generators are synchronous generators. Synchronous generators. There may be few more synchronous motors. There may be synchronous motors as well. So these are all AC machines. In addition to these synchronous generators and motors, you also have transformers connected in the lines. These are all transformers. Okay, so these things are AC machines. Transformers, synchronous generators and motors you will be studying in electrical machines too. Okay, now coming to the load side, you have induction motors and DC generators and motors, DC generators and DC motors. Okay, now if you see these loads, they may be industrial and residential or domestic in nature. Okay, so you have to understand that these generators, loads and the entire network, this entire system is power system, right? So you will be studying so many subjects related to this power system. Okay, now I said electrical machines, machines 1, machines 2. Likewise, in future you will be studying computer methods in power system and power system operation and control, and then HVDC, fax, HVDC high voltage DC transmission, and fax flexible AC transmission system, right? And in addition to these all subjects are covering some analysis on this power system. Okay, and in addition to that, you will also study the power electronics, and this power electronics is also a very important area, which will actually link so many devices and elements to the power system. Okay, so power electronics is I think you will be studying in next semester. That is also very important. Okay, right. Are you following me? Are you able to follow me what I am saying? Is it audible and visible, everybody? Shalima Azimi, please mute your voice. Shalima Azimi, mute your voice. Yeah. Now I have just briefly discussed about the syllabus of these electrical machines. Now I just wanted to give DC machines its constructional details. Okay, so constructional details. So DC machines, both generator and motor, constructionally they are same. Same constructionally. Okay, so how does it look? Okay, this is stator, which is stationary, and we have and we have poles connected to the stator like this. So I am drawing very vaguely, please bear with me. Okay, so these are poles, and the coils. Okay, these are the poles, and you have a rotor in the middle. Okay, this is rotor. Okay, now you have two windings. two windings. One is field winding, and it is wound like this. Okay, so it is wound on the poles like this. So everywhere you have coils like this. So these are the field windings. And how they are? Field windings are of concentric in nature, or concentric winding. Okay, and next one is armature winding. Armature winding is wound on rotor. You have slots like this. You have rotor slots like this throughout the periphery. Okay, so my god, okay, so the armature winding is wound on rotor in these slots. These are the slots. Sorry, the slots. Slots. Okay, so windings will be wound like this in the rotor slots. These are the windings. Okay, so I'll draw here. This is rotor windings or armature windings. Okay, and these windings are what do you say? They are not concentric. They are not concentric in nature. They are distributed winding. Okay, so armature windings are distributed in nature, and field windings are in concentric in nature. Okay, so constructionally what you have seen here, you have stator core. This is stator core, which is fixed in nature. Okay, and pole windings, rotor slots, and rotor winding. Okay, are you following? Can you please text me? Students, dear students, are you following? Can you text me? Okay, okay, so now so I hope you have understood the elements of this DC machine. So you have two windings, one is field winding and another one is armature winding, which are the main elements which are going to play in the DC machines. Okay, and now when we are going to connect these windings in such a way that we will be connecting one to the other. We are going to connect to one to the other and take the leads outside, and such that it will form north pole. This is north pole, south pole, north pole and south pole. It is going to form like this. Okay, and the magnetic fluxes coming out from the north pole, magnetic fluxes coming out from the north poles like this. They will be coming out from the north pole. Okay, so I am drawing the direction of the flux lines. Okay, and they go into the south pole like this. Few will divert into south pole like this, few will divert into south pole like this. And these fluxes coming from the north pole, bottom north pole, they will be going like this. Few will go inside and a few will go like this. Okay, and they will form the closed circular loops. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now tell me, the rotor is a rotating part. Rotor is a rotating part. Okay, it rotates in clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. Normally anti-clockwise direction is taken reference, right? So this part is rotating, this rotor is rotating at a particular rated speed. Now what is happening? These flux lines will be constant, so it will flow through the core, stator core. It comes out from the poles and it enters into the air gap. This is called air gap. So it enters into the air gap. Again it goes into the rotor. It goes into the rotor and again comes out to the air gap and again goes into the pole and stator. It completes circle like this. Okay, it completes the circle like this. So the only element is the rotor is rotating. Everything is stationary. Rotor is rotating and the conductors in the rotor slots will be cutting these flux lines. Then the EMF is induced according to the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, and we will discuss that. But right now what I wanted to say is, because the rotor is rotating and the so it is cutting the flux lines. So to reduce the eddy current losses, so eddy current losses and hysteresis losses. hysteresis losses in the core. So what we do is we laminate the rotor. So what we do is laminate the rotor. So I just go into next page. So rotor cylinder, let me assume that this is a cylinder, rotor cylinder placed in the stator like this. Okay, but this rotor is not a solid one, not a solid rotor, but it is laminated in nature. Laminated means we will take slices, we will take small what I will draw here. We will cut this by small slice like this. This rotor is actually made up of small slices. Okay. And these slices are bolted together like this through some screws and nut bolts. They are bolted like this. Okay, so why only rotor is laminated? Because it is rotating, it is linking with the magnetic field. So to reduce the core losses, what are the core losses? Core losses are sum of eddy current losses and hysteresis losses. Core losses are the sum of, just remember for the time being, I will again come back to these losses. So core losses are eddy current losses and hysteresis losses. And to reduce these losses, we are going to laminate the rotor into slices. And in cases, in addition to the rotor laminations, the pole shoes, okay, so pole shoes, so this pole shoe is also laminated. This only this part, this entire thing is pole, and this is pole shoe. Okay, now this is also laminated. This is also laminated like this. Okay, so what are the elements which are laminated? Rotor, and in some cases, very big machines, it is pole shoes are laminated, but in small machines it may not be laminated, pole shoes. Yeah, are you following? Please tell me. Yes, Charan, Vanamala, yes. Karthik, yes. Suhena, yes. Okay, fine. Okay, you are all are tuned to me, right? Okay, fine. Now, so these are the basic basic constructional details of a DC machine. So DC machine means it is generator as well as a motor. Constructionally there is no difference in DC generator as well as DC motor. Okay, so all DC machines will have a stator, poles connected to the stator, and pole windings are placed on the poles, and the rotor is a rotating body, and it is having slots to accommodate the armature winding. Okay, so rotor is a rotating body. Okay, so these are the basic details about the. Now you can also search the internet about the materials, what type of materials used for stator, rotor, okay, poles, okay, and also windings. So I'll ask in the next class you please just go through the internet and all some other books regarding the materials used for these type of elements. Okay, yeah, and one more thing I'll yeah, I forgot to say about the textbooks. Textbooks, okay. Regarding textbooks, Fitzgerald, Electric Machinery, by Fitzgerald, and Kingsley. Fitzgerald and Kingsley. This is one good book, and I'll also see this electric machinery fundamentals. Electric machinery fundamentals by Chapman, Stephen J. Chapman. Okay, these one more book is Nagarath Kothari. One more book is Electric Machinery, Electric Machines by Nagarath and Kothari, I.J. Nagarath and D.P. Kothari. So textbooks, kindly follow these textbooks, and for references you can use one is Clayton and Hancock, that is performance and design of DC machines by Clayton and Hancock, A.E. Clayton and N.N. Hancock. Okay, and second one is performance and design of AC machines by M.G. Say. Okay, so these are the 5 books altogether, 3 textbooks and 2 references. Okay, you need to follow. So this is Clayton and Hancock is for DC machines and MG Say is for AC machines. So when it comes to electrical machines 1, you are going to study only transformers in this. So transformer, induction machines and synchronous machines you will be studying in next subject. So this AC machines only transformers you are going to refer in this textbook MG Say. And Clayton and Hancock complete DC machine. So this is these 2 books are very good books, and it is very difficult to understand the subject. So kindly keep them as reference whenever you feel free, leisure, you go through these textbooks, reference books. And coming to the textbooks, I will follow majorly I will follow the for DC machines, Chapman for DC machines, and sometimes I may also see the Fitzgerald and Kingsley. And for transformers I will see MG Say. Are you following what I am saying? This is very important. You see, wasting of time in reading the textbooks is so kindly purchase, or otherwise you have soft copies available in the net, you download them. So Chapman, I will be following textbook for DC machines, Chapman, and MG Say transformers I will be saying from MG Say. These 2 books majorly I will follow, and sometimes I will refer other books also. Okay, right. Now what's the time? 40. Okay, so we'll take few more minutes. Now the second topic which I want to discuss is the DC generator principle of operation. DC generator principle of operation. Okay, so we will start first DC generator. We'll discuss completely DC generators. Again we'll go to DC motors. Okay, so let me draw this. Okay, so this is a north pole and this is a south pole. This is a north pole and this is a south pole, and you have a coil like this. You have a coil like this. Okay, you have a coil like this. Let me say the 2 effective sides. This is a effective side and this is the effective side of the coil. Okay, and let me say this is A B, C, D. AB is one side, BC is other side, CD is other side, and DE is the other side. So this is back side of the winding, and this is the front side. This side is front side, and these two sides AB and CD are the two sides which are actually cutting the fluxes. So if I draw the this direction view, this view, so I will be having like this. Okay, so the flux lines so this is the assume that this is a rotor, but I am shown here only one coil, but this is a rotor. So this is north pole and this is south pole. The flux lines will enter into the rotor like this. So these are the flux lines. So in which we have the coil, like this. So this is A, B, C, D. Okay. Now this coil is rotating anticlockwise through some angular velocity omega. This coil is rotating. Let us assume that only single coil. For the time being, single coil is there and two poles, single coil, and this is rotating anticlockwise direction at an angular velocity omega. Right? Now due to this rotation, the coil is cutting the flux lines. Okay, the coil is cutting the flux lines and EMF is induced in the coil according to the Faraday's electromagnetic induction principle. Okay, I think you have not yet completed your circuits subjects also. So you will be again in length discussing about the basic theorems and circuit principles. You will be studying in the electric circuits. Okay, straight away I am going here. I am saying that the EMF induced in the coil is equals to EMF induced in the AB side plus EMF induced in the BC length of the conductor, this length and this length. Okay, AB, BC plus CD plus DA. Okay, but we know that due to this rotation, the flux linkages by the side BC as well as DA are zero. BC and DA EMFs are zero. Are you following? Please text me. Okay, few more. Okay, and one more thing I wanted to say is, dear students, this video is being recorded, so I believe you no need to you just listen to the lecture. Later I will be sharing this video to you. Again you can write down the notes thoroughly later. Okay, just listen to me what I am saying, right? So the EMF induced in the coil, this side CB is 0 and DA is 0. This is 0, right? And what is the EMF induced in this side, coil side AB and CD? This side AB and CD. Now this EMF is actually given by, V cross B dot L. This EMF induced in each side is vector V cross B dot L. Okay, what is V? The peripheral velocity of the coil moving. Okay, so this is actually this is the axis of rotation. So so if it is rotating anti-clockwise direction, the coil side CD is moving downwards and the coil side AB is moving upwards. Is it right? The coil side AB is moving upward side and the coil side CD is moving downward side. Okay, so the flux distribution, the flux density in this air gap B is in this direction. Okay, and the velocity V is downwards. Now according to this formula, V cross B L, so I'll point out here. This is V, this is B, and this is L. R current. So this is the okay. So V cross B dot L is the EMF induced in the side, coil side. So tell me which direction EMF will be, current will be flowing. Tell me in AB side. AB, take this AB side. So flux is, the B is in this direction and V is moving upwards, the coil is moving upwards and the flux density direction is in this direction. Now V cross B means this direction, this moment, screw movement. You have to screw like this. V cross B means you have to screw like this. So the current vector will be this direction. This is the current will flow in this direction of the length. Okay, so okay, your presentation got stopped, sir, unable to. Okay, I am coming back. I'm coming. Wait. Yeah, can you hear me and can you see the whiteboard? Now students, tell me, can you hear me and see the whiteboard? Yes? Can you hear me now? Hello? Yeah? Yeah, it's done. Can you hear me? Students, please text me whether can you see the whiteboard and hear me? Hello? Okay. Your message I am unable to see. Students, please text me. Hello?
Sir, everything is fine. Please continue, sir.
Yeah. Why not? People are not texting me. I don't understand. Yeah, you can see the whiteboard and my voice also is audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Maniratnam. Yeah. So what I'm saying is the total EMF induced in the entire coil is the sum of the EMF induced in the coil side AB, coil side BC, coil side CD and coil side DA. So we know that the EMF induced in the coil side BC, this is the back side coil and the front side coil, they are not effectively linking any flux. That is why the EMFs induced in them is 0. The rest remains only the coil side AB and coil side CD, and the EMF induced in these coil sides are given by this formula. Which is V cross B dot L. So this is the vector. Vectorially you can see here, this is v vector, this is b vector, and this is l or I vector. So if I screw it like this in this direction, in the direction clockwise direction, so you will be if you screw like this, the screw will go inside the screen. Okay, so that is the direction gives the current direction or length of the conductor. So if I take this side A and B, coil side A B, so you notice that the coil is moving up like this, the coil is moving up like this, and the flux direction is in this direction B. So when I take the V cross B, my screw will go inside. So this will be the direction of the EMF or current. Okay. So this side will be the positive side and this side will be the negative EMF induced in this side of the conductor. Similarly, if I take the coil side CD, the coil is moving downwards. Still many people are saying that they are they can't see the whiteboard. Oh. Okay, so I think I'll continue this in next class. I think there may be some issue. Thank you. Yeah, tell me, Chetan.
Messages are getting late.
Messages are getting. Chetan, tell me.
Sir, you are getting messages late.
Okay. There might be some delay. Okay. So I hope, I think I will look into this issue. So shall I almost 1 hour completed. I will stop here. I'll continue in the next lesson. Okay. So thank you.